Queen's Cathedral, Nakasero, at 10 a.m. This will be before the cottage departs for a special session at Parliament, where the body will lie in state. On Wednesday 14th, the body will leave for Lira City, where a joint district council meeting will be held at 1 p.m. A vigil will then be held at his residence in senior quarters. A funeral service will be held on Thursday 15th at St. Augustine Church, Barogol, in Lira at 10 a.m.
On Friday, 16th December 2022, burial at Achunga Penny Cell in Kachunga, Western Ward, Angwata Town Council in Dokolo District, starting with a funeral service at 10 a.m.
For now, a condolence book has been opened at the Judiciary Headquarters and will remain open until the foreign judicial officer is given a final send-off.
Rest in peace, Honorable Mr. Justice Lube Opio Aweri.
Henry Okrut, UBC.
In another development, Minister for Karamoja Affairs Mary Goreti Chitutu has hailed the former Minister for Rehabilitation and also Chairperson National Council for Sports, Professor Patrick Masete Kuya, for his contribution towards the development of Bugisu region and Uganda. Masete, who died on 22nd November in Kenya, has been laid to rest in Sibanga village, Manafa district, his ancestral home. Masete passed on to prostate cancer in Kenya on November 22nd.
The former Minister for Rehabilitation in Obotetu government, Professor Patrick Masete Kuya, has been laid to rest in Manafa district. He was a member of parliament for Bugisu Southwest as well as Minister for Rehabilitation and other positions including the Chairperson National Council for Sports as well as the UBC Treasurer in the Obotetu government. The fall of Obotetu government led Kuya to quit politics for academics. While in exile in Kenya, he lectured applied economics at Jomo Kenyatta University and had attained a PhD by the time of his death. Masete served under Obotetu government from 1981 to 1985 as the Minister for Rehabilitation, and to date some of his development projects still stand. Minister for Karamoja Affairs Mary Goreti Chitutu, who was also the chief mourner, hailed the late professor for his contribution to the Bugisu region.
Many people have been talking a lot of things. I think I read on social media. The NRM government has no issue with anyone who is a Ugandan. And take it from me, I came here personally when I was a minister. And I made an effort to get my uncle here back in Uganda. But there were some issues. So the issues are here, not anywhere.
The Minister of State for Transport and Works, Musa Echeru, asked the family of the late to carry on with the father's legacy.
The family of Masete Kuya, your business now as children is no longer to mourn your daddy. Celebrate the life of your father. He raised you. Help these ones to grow to your level and beyond, and come and establish your fruit, your school. Here, I am not supposed to make pronouncements about this building, but I'm going to pray over it. I know what's going to happen here. I'm going to pray over it, my Lord Bishop, so that next time when I come, I have a room to stay in here. I have a room to stay in here. The state is going to play some role.
Uganda People's Congress Party President Jimmy Akena appreciated the contribution of the Ugandan government together with the government of Kenya towards sending off the UPC icon.
I have heard the RDC talk about Dr. Bota College. Our dream, and it's a dream from our fathers, is that every Ugandan should be able to access quality education everywhere in Uganda. There are people who talk about those schools. There'll be others talk about Ntare, others talk about Kigezi College, others talk about all sorts of colleges. But as Ugandans, as UBC, we want those colleges to be able to rise and shine and deliver that quality of education that they were able to give to someone like Masete Kuya.
Members of Parliament from the Elgon region recall the good works of the late Professor Kuya as they called on for unity and togetherness among the leaders in the region.
That they will become a great man from our family.
Kuya's children praise the late for the good foundation of education and agriculture, which they say that he left for them a bright future.
I learned from him was that importance of education. We'd have debates in my adult life about all sorts of things. So he encouraged me to debate and express my opinion.
Justin Nakami, Tanaba Kenneth, Manafa District.
Vice President Major Jaska Lupo has appreciated South Korean best Siamu Ondong for empowering youth in Uganda with agricultural skills. This was during a ceremony held at Buddo Junior School in Kampala.
State Minister for Kampala, Chofa Togabe Kabuye, has said government will make sure that organizations like Sema Undong operate in a conducive environment. He was representing the Vice President Major Jaska Lupo at the event, where he also disclosed that government is committed to ensuring continued support to Sema Undong.
I am glad to note that the main focus of Sema Undong SMU in Uganda is agriculture. Today, agriculture is the mainstay for the majority of our people, most of whom live in rural areas. Similarly, the two sectors of animal industry and fisheries are playing critical roles in the modernizing drive of this country.
Chofato Gabye appealed to the youth to use technology around them to enhance their potential and avoid social media that promotes pornography.
Forget about pornography or something. The moment you get that phone and you buy MBs on that phone, the question will be, what have you used the MBs for? How much money has it helped you to bring on your table or in your pocket? If you misuse the phone, of course it will not bring the change you think you want. But so many people have grown rich out of that particular gadget you're holding.
President Sema Undong International in Uganda, Dr. Engineer Ian Chene, said that there is need for Ugandans to initiate development right from the village levels.
Twagala okutandika okwenda maaso okukolera awamu ng'abakozi ba gavumenti abakola mu central government n'abakola mu bwakabaka bwa Uganda n'abo bonna abalina obukugu mu ngeri ey'enjawulo batukwatirako mu byalo byaffe okulaba nti bisituka.
Sema Undong International Coordinator Dr. Stephen Kayongo said Sema Undong has expanded to 365 villages in Uganda and operates in 45 districts with over 20,000 farmers involved.
The 365 villages in Uganda have been established in different parts of the country by the Uganda Mobile School, which was initiated in 2014 in Katereke SME Model Village. And there have been different leaders from Uganda have been always awarded in Korea on different conventions due to the diligence of their leaders. Therefore, I commend all the diligent leaders for their great work to SMU.
Sema Undong targets the younger generation interested in embracing agriculture as they get engaged in the learning of value addition through mindset change. Stephen Kayumba for UBC.
The State Minister for Urban Development, Mario Obiga Kania, has given Abu Baker Technical Services 7 months to have completed a 1-kilometer road under Uganda's support for municipal infrastructure, a World Bank-funded project. Initially, the construction was to end in September 2022, but according to Abu Baker, the works were delayed by unforeseen challenges like soil quality. This was during a walking tour of Jai and Lopeduru attended by the Moroto municipal leaders, technical people.
1 kilometer road under Uganda's support for municipal infrastructure, a World Bank-funded project. Initially, the construction was to end in September 2022, but according to Abu Baker, the works were delayed by unforeseen challenges like soil quality. This was during a walking tour of Jai and Lopeduru attended by the Moroto municipal leaders, technical people. In May last year, the State Minister for Urban Development, Marion Obiga Kania, officiated the groundbreaking of the construction of 1 kilometer road of Gie and Lopedur at a cost of 7 billion shillings, and the works was to end in September this year. However, today the construction is not ready. According to Abubeka Technical Services, they were challenged by poor soils, which is waterlogged.
So in the design, and the BOQ did not cover addressing those challenges that he saw down there. So that is what stalled the project for some time.
Consultants did their best, but I think the excavation for that project down at the time of the consultants was not adequate. That's why we did not discover that running water down. When do you think you will finish?
Yeah, we shall finish within 2 months. We shall have all up to the asphalt, the wearing was. Then drainage will give us another 2 months. So within 4 months we shall have this road.
Really?
Yes, really.
Okay. So during our briefing, we're going to reduce all this into writing.
Writing, yes.
This we shall be given the writing, and the things I'm going to ask them, even the plan.
The State Minister for Urban Development, Marion Obiga Kania, has inspected the progress of the construction works of the 2 roads and urged leaders and residents to closely monitor the project.
If you monitor it every week, every month, then he will put the right thing. That's how you can ensure quality. Otherwise, he will come and cover it with very nice stones here.
Beautiful. Yeah.
Then after a short time, it will wear off. You get.
Obiga advised the municipal leadership to ensure quality physical planning, though Moroto Municipality Mayor Mohammed Ismail decried limited physical planning staff.
Road here. That building, I hope that one go into the road reserve. See that road? That developers should have been advised to see the people, sensitize them, have a meeting with them. What is a physical plan? Why is it important? How it helps the people? It helps.
However, Moroto Municipality leadership decried limited funding. The team also toured the progress of the mayor's garden.
You put the African culture, the Karamojong culture in this park. And what Moroto was should all be reflected here.
Yes. Yes.
That's not buildings, let them have meanings.
Moroto Municipality is among the municipalities across the country who benefited from USMID project with modern bus terminal and the 1 kilometer road. Sada Mubale, Moriniga, UBC News.
Bringing you back to central Uganda, the 13th annual Gathering of Nations Bible Believers has ended at Caring Heart Community Victory Church, Kagula in Kachiri, Wakiso District. The climax was graced by the State Minister for Lands, Sam Mayanja.
Uganda's Minister of State for Lands, Sam Mayanja, has attributed Uganda's economic growth and development to tolerance ushered in by the National Resistance Movement government. He cited from the 1970s Uganda and lauded President Yoweri Museveni for religious tolerance, which has blossomed the country.
No nation can rise without the will of God. Uganda could not be where it is. During Amin's time, there was churches. The churches were there. During Opote too, the churches were there. But was there development? Now, the one I call Sabarani, Museveni came and said, freedom, all of you, create your God the way you want to. See the developments that are taking place. There's prayer behind it.
This was during the climax of the 13th annual Gathering of Nations Bible Believers at Caring Heart Community Victory Church, Kagula in Kakiri, Wakiso District. The week-long gathering was addressed by, among others, American Dr. David Schroeder and the host, Pastor Paul Musisi.
We've been here for 8 days. Countries all over Eastern Central Africa and Africa have been here, and nations, just to be equipped, to be empowered, to go deeper in knowing the Word of God and come back to the word of truth of God. And then we can be more than conquerors. There's so much in the churches today. The intake of God's Word is so small. that we cannot allow that to continue like that, because what makes us powerful, do miracles. The Bible says when Jesus was teaching, the word to heal sick people was present. From where? From the word of God.
The participants from countries including Congo, Kenya, Tanzania, Burundi and Sudan graduated in Christian ministry. John Barnes, Centum.
In other news, government has launched the Inspectorate of Government Whistleblowers Reward Scheme to recognize individuals and companies who will have joined the effort to curb down graft through exposing the corrupt. Now, this is an initiative attempt by government to save national funds from losing resources, the nation from losing resources by unscrupulous individuals.
The government of Uganda is committed to sustain fight against corruption with new measures in place. These include, among others, rewarding whistleblowers that expose the corrupt.
So, through the whistleblower, we are calling upon the public to give us information of suspected illicit acquisition of wealth. We shall investigate it. If people can account for their wealth, very good. If they cannot account for the wealth, then we shall take them to task.
According to the Inspectorate of Government, Betty Kamya, a lot of money often goes missing, which continues to deter service delivery.
We have caused the interdiction this year alone of over 50 public servants, and we have prosecuted 86 cases and secured 34 convictions.
The office of the IGG has so far managed to recover over 30 billion shillings that is now being kept on the asset recovery account.
Although the state has successfully prosecuted the culprits of numerous criminal offences, the convicted persons or their relatives and accomplices continue to enjoy the proceeds of crime which they legally obtained. And this is a loss to government.
The IGG is also investigating corruption cases worth 500 billion shillings, some of which led to the halting of numerous procurement activities that would have led to loss of public funds.
Currently, we are also investigating cases worth 500 billion shillings, and we are confident that most of that money will be recovered.
Some officials are now calling for the establishment of a stolen asset recovery tribunal.
The reason we need a tribunal is for fairness. Otherwise, we are going to have strong arm mafia style anti-corruption operations. The evidence should be presented. If you cannot explain how you acquired it, it is recovered. Our country will be rich.
The Minister for Justice and Constitutional Affairs, Norbert Mao, while speaking at the International Anti-Corruption Day in Uganda, explained that there is need to address the issue of land grabbing.
Somebody seated behind a desk receives your application for a land title. The person is supposed to tell you that please fill this form, take it to the LCs, let the area land committee go and inspect your land. The next step, we take it before the board. The board gives you instruction to survey, and then later instruction to issue a land title after you have paid all the fees. Instead, this person will keep your file there and keep telling you it's not easy to get a title.
He commended President Yoweri Museveni for his effort aimed at suppressing graft and tasked Ugandans to join the campaign against corruption.
You have heard the president even complaining that some investors have to pay people around him in order to see him. So he now said he is also now a subject of busuru, rent, that his airtime is now also rented.
Ambrose Muhumuza compiled this report.
Quite the orator, Norbert Mao, right there. In other news, the State Minister for Information, Communication and Technology and National Guidance, Godfrey Kabyanga Baluku, has asked the clergy to teach the gospel of prosperity in Kasese. He was attending a grand ordination of 32 priests, 6 reverend deacons at St. Paul Cathedral in South Rwenzori Diocese.
The State Minister for Information, Communication Technology and National Guidance, Godfrey Kabyanga Baluku, has advised priests to preach the gospel of prosperity.
Do pastoral work
tell people to turn to God, but also to work for their homes. That is very, very important.
Kabyanga was attending a grand ordination of 32 priests and 6 deacons at St. Paul Cathedral in South Renshaw Diocese. The Bishop of South Renshaw Diocese, the Right Reverend Nason Baruko, ordained the priests and deacons and urged them to be exemplary.
Calling upon both the priesthood and the ordained deacons to go out and live the gospel they preach. They have to be exemplary to the gospel that they are going to preach, not doing things irrelevant to the gospel that they are preaching.
The new priest for Nyakabingo Parish Church of Uganda in Maliba Archdeaconry, the Reverend William Tembo, thanked the Almighty God for enabling him to reach this milestone.
Residents of Bigando and Kayanja in Kitswamba sub-county of Kasese district have decried the poor state of roads in the area. They say that the road is characterized by potholes and mud and has left farmers counting their losses.
Bigando village in Kaswamba sub-county, like Karusandara sub-county, is the food basket of Kasese and neighboring districts. However, the road network interconnecting the area is slippery, potholed, and generally not good.
When it is rainy as this season, we get great mud and some stagnant water. So our products to get out of the gardens and to be rich in the market, sincerely, it becomes a great challenge to the farmers.
Oruba tukolire vegan bakarukolera ababudandalo abarukuguza enyanya nabarukeko bukuretibwa bia abukuba nirukoma mu town henyine.
The government promised us to construct us the road, but indeed they did. They stopped from the center. After this side they left.
Residents claim that some of their colleagues have been attacked by marauding elephants and other wildlife.
Now people are dying in the gardens, killed by elephants, and yet they would have harvested their crops, but they have failed.
They now want area leaders to have the road repaired. This is not the only road that needs government intervention, as many other roads in the district are currently impassable, mainly during rain seasons.
So na nisaba government yihangeri ningabe bembezo bakasesi no mukwenda wa president RDC mubiro bwenzura aiza twikeho arebe ebizibe bitwine habo kureba ngo hati enzodo ibirenga abasorokale abarukulenda byabo.
Let's now take a short commercial break. When we return, we'll be back with business news. Stay tuned.
It's super fast internet. Oh, it's a super camera. It's a super battery.
Phone battery full.
Yeah, it's a super deal. Get the Kabode Super from MTN now at a reduced initial deposit of only 49,000 shillings and pay the balance in Pola for as low as 833 shillings per day. Grab this Super Kabode deal this Christmas and get 2 GB of free MTN data every month for 8 months. Get the Kabode Super now from any MTN shop countrywide. Everywhere you go, MTN. Regulated by UCC.
Welcome to Friends Stadium. Everybody's ready.
Wait a second, not everybody. Come on, dude, it's the FIFA World Cup. You're going to lose your seat, the ritual seat, the lucky one. Losing more than a seat, your team is going to lose. Where are you, dude? The match is about to start. Your friends won't hold on much longer. Excuse me. Finally, everything is in the right place. Hey, other hand. And do you have everything you need to believe? Paying for groceries the old way.
3, 4, yeah.
Allow me. Paying for groceries with the My Airtel app. You have the power in your pocket. The power to conveniently pay for goods and services. Unlock that power with the My Airtel app. Visit the App Store or Google Play now.
That's my wife.
It's our mission to secure your money.
Protecting your money is as important as earning it. It is for this reason that the Deposit Protection Fund of Uganda, DPF, was established by the government of Uganda to provide deposit protection to customers of regulated financial institutions. In the unlikely event that your commercial bank, credit institution or microfinance deposit-taking institution fails, the DPF will pay you up to 10 million Uganda shillings. Keep your personal information such as national identification number, mobile phone or an alternative bank account updated with your banker. Terms and conditions apply. For more information, contact DPF at Aha Towers, Plot 7 Lodell Road, Kampala. Call 0312-206-400 or visit our website at www.dpf.or.ug.
We are the DPF. We protect your money. Protection Fund of Uganda.
Meet Professor Petero. He knows something every hustler in UG is gonna love.
Just get Airtel Money Pay so that all money comes direct to your business wallet and only you, the owner, have access to it.
Just dial *185 *10 hash and now you are on. No waiting. Yes, become a safer and more efficient cash-free business today.
No mixing your business money with your Kameza money.
Airtel Money. Instant, secure, borderless.
Welcome to the Living Room Stadium. It's the FIFA World Cup. The match is about to start. Food and drink ready. There's no space left for anyone. Come on, get your lucky chair. Take your usual spot. Even the puppy has one. It's preparation time. You can feel the tension in the air. And do you have everything you need to believe?
The festive season is here and it's Christmas in 4G from Airtel. Get the most affordable 4G smartphone in Uganda, now heavily discounted from 250,000 shillings to 150,000 shillings only. Yes! 150,000 shillings only to keep you connected to your loved ones this holiday season.
Dial *175*94 hash to activate free 1 GB instantly and 100% double data on all weekly and monthly bundles for 3 months. Get one today while stock lasts from the nearest Airtel shop. Happy holidays this festive season with Airtel, the smartphone network.
Welcome back. You're still watching the UBC News Tonight, broadcasting live from Naila Avenue, also on YouTube under the name tag UBC TV Uganda. Now, in the world of business, in the next phase of digital connectivity in Uganda, the National Information Technology Authority, NITA-U, seeks to expand electronic procurement services across all ministries, departments and agencies. The plan is contained in the upcoming 5-year Uganda Digital Acceleration Project that seeks to spur on current ICT infrastructure across all districts in the country. The Executive Director, NITA-U, Dr. Hatui Mugasa, says that $200 million World Bank funded initiative has also earmarked 18% for cybersecurity.
A number of our CEOs were saying that these contracts are awarded in restaurants to certain people who give bribes.
This was Permanent Secretary
and Secretary to the Treasury, Ministry of Finance, Dr. Ramadan Gowi. And this was part of his submission during the recent Presidential Chief Executive Officers Forum at Chobe Safari Lodge in Mwea District. His was the quest for expansion of e-procurement services across the country.
This will increase transparency and also give us the audit trail to be able to really follow up these people who are using our public resources to do corruption.
It is a plan and point of view shared and taken up by Uganda's Digital Promotion and Monitoring Body. National Information Technology Authority Uganda has in its next phase of ICT service provision lined up e-procurement as top among its priorities.
This is going to cut down the cost of procuring, the time and cost in the procurement process. It will also reduce or eliminate corruption.
Currently piloted in more than 22 ministries, departments and agencies. Expansion of the same will reduce on bureaucracy, middlemen and corruption.
We want to make it a digital procurement process in government, from the point of initiation of the procurement process to signing of the contract. We want that to all be digitized. You'll even sign digitally, and that is very hard to manipulate or to corrupt.
This is part of the 5-year Uganda Digital Acceleration Project, or UDAP, as goes its acronym. It is a $200 million World Bank funded undertaking, split into a loan of $140 million and a grant of $60 million. 18% of the funding is set aside for cybersecurity.
We are building a cyber war room. We are enhancing we have a national cybersecurity center, but we want even a bigger center that will monitor all the systems, all the traffic within Uganda.
Hard to reach areas are fully catered for, with plans to embrace underground and wireless connectivity integrated to reach island districts.
We want to have 80% of government services digitized. So 80% of all citizen-centric services to be digitized. All those manual processes where someone has to walk from one office to another office to receive a government service, we want to have it electronic, and that person has to just get onto his computer, type in his NIN, and the government shall provide services to him. That is our target for the next project.
Securing such funding is projected to save government more money on data storage and sharing, as has been the case in previous undertakings.
We are going to connect more than 20,000 government agencies. I say we need, there are almost maybe 1,000 systems. So just for the data center, we need about $20 million to enable us run it to optimal speeds for the whole of government. But these systems are currently running in those government agencies. We need them to come to the data center, and then that's when we'll be able to save government all this money.
Such digital agenda is what NITA has been doing for the last 11 years of its establishment, to the extent of earning Uganda a second position of the World Bank Global Tech Maturity Index in East Africa. Henry Okrut, UBC.
The Tales of Kasozi, brought to you by Uganda Communications Commission.
Yes, hello? This is Kasozi. How can I help you?
Calling you from the mobile service center.
Okay. So how can I help you?
Well, we have noticed a few things wrong with your number and need your mobile money PIN.
Ton Ferrer, never give out your password or PIN to any caller. Your mobile service provider will never call or ask for your personal details. If in doubt, go to your nearest phone service center.
This message is powered by UCC, MTN, Airtel, Bank of Uganda, and NPSP Association.
It's better to foster respect instead of fear and pain.
Cause a good school equals a better life.
Raising voices.
The Ministry of Health informs the public that there are confirmed cases of Ebola in Uganda. We, however, urge the public not to panic as the situation is being managed. The Ministry of Health further reminds the public to be on the lookout for any persons who may show signs and symptoms of Ebola. These include high body temperature, abdominal pains, diarrhea, vomiting, bleeding from the body openings such as the nose, eyes, and mouth. Please inform the nearest health worker immediately if you see anyone with these signs and symptoms. To prevent Ebola from spreading further, please take the following preventive measures: regular washing of hands with water and soap, avoid handshaking and hugging, avoiding any contact with any suspected Ebola patients. Any person who dies suddenly should not be buried but reported to the nearest health worker or LC1 immediately. For further information, please call the Ministry of Health toll-free number on 0800-100-066 or send a free SMS to your report on 8500. This message is from the Ministry of Health with support from UNICEF and World Health Organization.
Did you know that a cashless, secure, and convenient lifestyle is possible with Airtel Money Pay? Pay for your goods and services in the following simple steps. Dial *185*9#. Enter the merchant ID. Enter the amount. Enter payment reference, for example, school items. Please enter PIN to confirm. You will receive a confirmation message for a successful transaction. Airtel Money. Instant, secure, borderless.
Welcome back. It's now time for the sports news. Now, Morocco edged Portugal out of the race for the World Cup trophy to become the first African country to make it to the FIFA World Cup semi-finals. Celebrations across the continent were visible all over social media. Let's have a look at what Amon Gabo has to say about the World Cup.
To the World Cup edition with lots of surprises. Teams regarded as underdogs surprising many beyond the quarter-final stage. Then the 2022 World Cup in Qatar equals to none. Over the weekend, Brazil was shown an exit at the expense of Croatia, while England and Portugal were equally knocked out of the tournament. Locally, UBC TV traveled to Jinja for a fans experience organized by Now Breweries in what is termed as the Cranes Cabo campaign, soliciting money to support the national team, the Cranes. Indeed, the pressure mounting to the ecstatic fans, witnessing Brazil given matching orders, was a joy to watch. Predictions coming through on who would win the World Cup, and many remain uncertain, wondering what would be the final bend of the FIFA World Cup in Qatar.
Of course, I didn't see it coming because Brazil has the best players. It has a big squad. The squad is in depth. So at this time, Brazil shouldn't have gone out.
Argentina is losing. That is all. Whatever it says, Argentina is losing. That's all. You know, this World Cup has a lot of witchcraft. So the wrong guys are winning. Hey, if they had been in Africa, Brazil would have won. But you see, it's all about the temperature. The Middle East is hot.
To the organizers, Now Breweries, they believe that offering Ugandans a fan-based experience on large screens with different entertainment and a chance for many to win prizes is worthwhile.
To the people of Jinja, to the fans, we are basically walking the talk as a brand. So what you're seeing here tonight is basically an experience. We want them to have fun on a giant screen, alongside good music, snacks, so they can engage and have that experience. We've always been a part of the national side, and we are not yet to stop anytime soon. So last month we launched a campaign dubbed Cranes Cabo. Cabo is a Luganda word which simply means collective basket. So this campaign is basically geared towards supporting the national side, our Uganda Cranes, to the World Cup in 2026. And what we're going to do is to support through a fund for every now special that a consumer buys out there, we'll remit 50 shillings towards that fund.
Meanwhile, Morocco became the first African country to make it to the FIFA World Cup semi-finals, and one wonders who saw this coming in the first place. Celebrations not only in Marrakesh, Rabat, but equally across the globe as Portugal were ejected out of the tournament. Morocco making it to the semi-finals means that Africa now has extra slots of teams to compete at the FIFA World Cup 2026. And who knows, just like the now braised Cabo campaign, Uganda might be among the 11 nations representing Africa at the global stage.
And then basketball icon Brenda Ikoni has been named Real Star Awards Superstar for 2022. This was during an awards day for the best athletes of November at Garden City Rooftop. John Barnes sent more with a report.
After a stellar season during which, despite losing the title to UCU, JKL basketball icon Brenda Akon has been named Fortebet Real Stars Superstar for 2022.
There are so many stars outside there, but when you're identified as a superstar, so you're a superstar on top of the real stars outside there. So I'm really so happy, and this award is really motivational. I believe it gives me more strength to work hard, because I wouldn't want it to end today. I would want next year to keep the fire burning from where it has ended this year.
This during the awards day for the best of November at Garden City Rooftop that was graced by the National Council of Sports Board Chairperson Ambrose Tashovia.
Rewarding and awarding athletes is very important. First in the life of the athlete, for them to know that they are fully recognized for what they have done, to know that their work is valued, but also most importantly to have an accolade that they can keep for generations to look on and appreciate what was done by their parent or father or mom. But also for the other athletes that are watching what is happening, this is a huge motivation for them to be able to now position themselves and compete for a similar award.
The Real Stars Award Chief Executive Officer Isaac Mokasa prides in the awards and promises better next year. Those rewarded for excellence during November were football player Titus Sematimba, Beth Nagadia from the Ludo Sport, netballer Sandra Nambirige, golfer Godfrey Subuga, and hockey's Yakelo.
I'm so pleased to be here right now because I've never expected this. This is a journey that I started when I was still young, fighting for this award. Right now, I'm so happy that I've got it. Thank you.
The Fortebet Real Star Awards started prior to COVID-19 but are now more pronounced for rewarding the monthly best sports personalities. John Barnes, Sentamo, UBC News.
Yes, and that brings us to the end of our news tonight. Thank you for being a lovely audience as we draw towards the end of this year, 2022. We do implore you to look back at your resolutions and see perhaps how far have you gone. My name is Wadulo Mark Arnold, Mugalu Muhammad, on sign language. Have yourselves a lovely night.